5. Brazil, which has an area of 8,515,767 square kilometers, is a country that is worthy of the title of the world's most beautiful country. The treasure of South America is not only unique in geography, but also has a deep impact on the global economy and cultural power. When it comes to Brazil, the first thing that comes to mind is the vast green ocean, the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest, which has an area of 3 million square kilometers, is not only the largest tropical rainforest in the world, but also one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. The number of trees and plant species here is tens of thousands of trees, hiding 4.5 million cubic meters of precious wood, worth up to $1.7 trillion. The Amazon River, which is 6,751 kilometers long, flows into the vast country of Brazil and eventually enters the Atlantic Ocean. As the longest and widest river in the world, the Amazon River has an area of more than 7 million square kilometers, occupying 40% of the total area of South America, and has more than 500 tributaries and 2.5 million kilometers of navigation. This is not only the world's largest navigation system, but also gives Brazil a natural resource advantage. On the other hand, within the borders of Brazil, the world's largest plain, the Amazon River Plain, has an area of more than 3 million square kilometers and occupies almost one-third of the country of Brazil. In addition to the Iguazu Falls, this 4-kilometer wide and 82-meter-tall waterfall has an amazing flow of 1,751 cubic meters per second. Even the Nicaraguan Falls is also a landmark. In addition, the Anavelianas Islands, located in the Mediterranean, are made up of more than 700 islands, making it the largest inland island in the world. It can be said that Brazil is a treasure trove of geological organs, whether it is a vast rainforest, a magnificent waterfall, a vast plain, or a mysterious island. In addition to the spectacular natural scenery, Brazil's position in the global food supply chain is also indispensable. For example, the coffee, baked bread, and oatmeal you want to eat every morning may come from Brazil. Brazil is the world's largest producer of coffee, sugarcane, and sugar. At the same time, it is also the main exporter of corn and soybeans and other agricultural products. In addition, Brazil's livestock industry is also extremely developed, with the second largest cow population in the world, second only to India. Of course, when it comes to Brazil, how can we not mention football? Brazil is a football kingdom with more than 20,000 football teams and has won the World Cup 5 times in a row, creating countless shocking football legends. But what many people don't know is that Brazil is often referred to as Japan's second hometown. Since the first batch of Japanese immigrants from Shenhu came to Brazil in 1908, their descendants have become an indispensable part of Brazilian society. These immigrants mostly worked as coffee growers in Brazil, not only filling the gaps in labor, but also bringing agricultural products from Asia, greatly enriching the agricultural landscape of Brazil. 4. China. China is located in East Asia, with a total area of 9.6 million square kilometers, which is 1/5 of the world's land area. What kind of concept is this? Such a size can almost cover 94% of Europe. If Australia is placed in China, it can still leave 2 million square kilometers of open space. China's Eastern Cross Strait reaches 5,200 kilometers, and the North-South Cross Strait reaches 5,500 kilometers. This is equivalent to the distance from London, UK, to the Atlantic Ocean, to New York, USA. If you take a civil aircraft and fly at a speed of 900 kilometers per hour, it will take more than 6 hours to fly from the northernmost end of China to the southernmost end. China is not only wide in territory, but also has a very diverse terrain. There are 11 main features of landforms on the Earth, and China has 10 of them. There are more than 8,000 meters of 12 landforms in the world, and China has 7 of them. These landforms are like the crown of Tianjin County, and they are located at the top of the Asian continent. China's geographical organs are known as the world's Sin. Among them, the world's Wuji and Qinghai Tibet Plateau are undoubtedly the kings. This plateau, which has an average height of more than 4,500 meters, is not only the highest plateau on the Earth, but also an important regulator of global climate and ecology. It operates the main rivers of Asia, including China's major animals. The Yangtze River and the Yellow River nourish most of the country. Speaking of the world's Wuji, Jumulangma Peak is undoubtedly the brightest pearl of the year. Jumulangma Peak is 8,848.86 meters high and is the highest point on the Earth. This is the dream of a climber, the pinnacle of geographical organs. Standing at the top of the peak, it is as if you can touch the blue sky. In the economic field, China is a global superstar. According to the data of the International Monetary Fund, China's domestic production total is ranked second in the world, second only to the United States. China also has the world's largest export market and the second largest import market. The impact on the global economy is obvious. China is also unyielding in terms of technological innovation. As the world's largest internet user market, China has more than 1 billion internet users. The internet is 76.4% of the total population of Europe. 3. The United States. The United States is always full of surprises and controversies. So far, the United States has been ranked fourth in the world's territory rankings. But in recent years, through the latest measurements, its territory area has increased by half the size of the United Kingdom, reaching 9.63 million square kilometers. This makes the United States the third largest country in the world. What the hell is going on? It turned out that in the 1990s, because the calculation technology was not accurate enough at the time, there may be errors in the calculation of the territory area of the United States. Now, with the help of advanced satellite measurements and geographical information systems, the territory area of the United States has become more accurate. In addition, the United States has also changed its calculation method in this measurement. The 5 lakes that Canada has in common are all recorded in their own territory area. This operation has also contributed a lot to the increase in its total area. Second, the overseas territory of the United States is also a secret weapon of territorial expansion. Puerto Rico, Mexico, Samoa, Guam, etc. Although they do not entirely belong to the United States, but, in actual management, they belong to the United States. Therefore, the United States has also calculated the area of these regions in the total. In addition, the Mississippi River, the Colorado River and other rivers, and the land that was newly created due to the earthquake in Nisha, as well as the new land that was newly created due to the volcano activity in Hawaii, are all in the foreshortening of the expansion of the territory area of the United States. To clear up the controversy, the United States, the only superpower recognized by the world today, does indeed cover the super hard core of geographical organs to economic strength. Especially in the economic field, the status of the United States is indisputable. In 2023, the total domestic production value of the United States reached $26.7 trillion, accounting for about 1/4 of the global total. New York City is the heart of global finance. The stock market trade volume and financial industry scale are well known internationally. Silicon Valley is a technologically innovative magician. From Apple to Google, and then to Facebook, this land has a number of technology giants that have changed the world, making the United States the leader of global technological innovation. In the defense field, the United States is even more global. In 2023, the U.S. defense budget will exceed $800 billion, accounting for more than 40% of the global total spending, which is enough to keep the armies around the world in the dark. 2. Canada. Here comes our runner-up, Canada. Canada's land area is 9,984,670 square kilometers, which is the largest land area in a developed country in the world. Canada's natural beauty can be said to be countless. For example, Canada has the longest coastline in the world, with a total length of more than 200,000 kilometers, which is about 5 times that of the Earth's equator. Not only that, Canada is also a lake kingdom, with 31,752 lakes. This number is even more than the total number of lakes in other countries in the world. There are 42 lakes, with an area of more than 1,000 square kilometers. Canada's freshwater resources are also the world's top priority, with 20% of the world's freshwater reserves. The freshwater area is 891,163 square kilometers, which is the Earth's water tower. Canada's northern Alaret is the northernmost human settlement on Earth. It is only 817 kilometers north of the equator. From November to February every year, this place enters a state of extreme night, with no sun. Only near the base can you see such a wonderful phenomenon. With the forest as a support, Canada has built 48 national parks of its own, managed by the Canadian Park Service, located in Nahanni National Park in northwestern Canada. The total area is 30,050 square kilometers, which is larger than the area of Israel as a whole. In the long history of millions of years, the Nahanni National Park has always been covered by the ocean, and to this day, we can still find evidence of the Kanghai Sangdia from here. In terms of economy, although Canada has a small population, it is one of the richest countries in the world, and is the world's 10th largest economy. The Canadian economy is dominated by the service industry, and 3 out of 4 people in the country are in the service industry. It is especially worth mentioning that since the Second World War, Canada's economic relations with the United States have become increasingly close. The two countries have the longest international border in the world, 8,890 kilometers in total. And it is a borderline that is not set up. More than 1.6 billion US dollars of goods pass through every day. This deep economic relationship makes Canada and the United States share the longest and largest bilateral trade relations in the world. In general, Canada is not only the paradise of natural lovers, but also a country full of diverse cultures, strong economic strength, and friendly people. Top 1. Russia. Finally, let's take off the mask of the champion country and walk into the vast continent of Eurasia, which is the largest country in the world. The territory of Eurasia is more than 17.1 million square kilometers, which is about 1/8 of the global land area of 2 European countries. From Siberia's ice-free wasteland to the southern vast grasslands, each piece of land in Eurasia has its own unique charm. Although it is located in the cold north, Eurasia has 1/5 of the world's freshwater resources, the most famous of which is the Bajar Lake. It is the world's deepest and largest reservoir, with a depth of 1,642 meters, enough to accommodate a total of 5 lakes. Not only that, but the area covered by the forests of Eurasia is also the largest in the world. The vast juniper forests cover almost the entire Siberian region and account for 20% of the global forest area. These forests are not only the lungs of the earth, but also one of the most important timber supplies in the world. Interestingly, since Eurasia crosses a total of 9,000 kilometers from east to west, it crosses a total of 11 time zones. So when the Magadan citizens in eastern Eurasia have welcomed a new day of sunshine and are ready to start their fishing and hunting, the St. Peter's Castle in the west is just immersed in midnight. The cross-time zone of Eurasia is not only a geographical phenomenon, but also deeply affects the way of life and social culture of Eurasians. Here, whether it's work, study, or daily life, people have to learn to adapt and coordinate the time difference in different regions. This may be why Eurasians can always have a say in complex international affairs, because they are already used to racing against time on their own vast territory. When it comes to cold weather, Eurasians are still a little cute in their attitude to cold weather. Russia has the coldest inhabited area in the world, Oymyakon village. The lowest temperature in winter here was as low as 71.2 degrees Celsius and as low as 40 degrees Celsius. Despite this, the residents of Oymyakon still live in extreme cold, go to work, take a walk, and even attract many tourists to experience the extreme cold. In terms of economy, Russia is an absolute energy giant. This country has an astonishing 44.38 trillion cubic meters of natural gas emissions, nearly 1/4 of the world's total emissions. In Europe, more than half of the natural gas demand depends on Russian supply. This makes Russia an important bargaining chip in international negotiations. In addition to natural gas, Russia also has 742 billion tons of oil reserves. In addition, there is a large amount of unexplored oil resources in the Arctic Ocean in the north. As globalization deepens, Russia is embracing the opportunity with a more open attitude to meet challenges.